Hello, everyone. We're going to try to get started. It's 10 o'clock on Friday, September 8th, and it's my hope that you'll all be joining us, seeing this soon. I'm just checking to make sure everything's working, and it looks like we're coming through on the live stream. If you are joining us via the Group Leaders portal, you can take part in the chat by on the bottom corner of the video. There's a little YouTube image, and all you have to do is click on that, and then it'll open up to the YouTube page. And then you can open up the chat box and say anything you want to say, whether it's kind to me or whether it's honest. So that either one is fine, as people tend to be doing. So we're going to jump right into today's presentation as soon as I can figure out how to share my screen again. Okay, so just 1 second, bear with me, and here we go. All right, so you should be able to see currently the PowerPoint presentation. If somebody who's viewing this on the chat can let me know if the PowerPoint is now showing. That would be helpful. I know it's a few seconds delay, so please pause while we move forward on this one. So I know there's a few people, they're more interested in making comments about, my worth as a human being and whatnot, but just curious if anybody is seeing the PowerPoint. Anybody? Thank you, Chris, for weighing in and being, okay, Martin, you're just a little bit too late. Chris totally beat you out there. All right, so we're going to dive into it this morning. This is just a lot of details, so please feel free to review this and watch this again, and I will try to send something out in writing later today if I get to it. You can imagine this is kind of a busy time for us here at the Pastoral Center. So here's what I want to talk about: a little bit of Archdiocesan group updates. These are things dealing with our delegation specifically, namely registration and forms and buses and hotels and all the nitty-gritty stuff that goes together to make NCYC happen. I'm also going to give you some updates from the national office. We were part of a webinar last week or 2 weeks ago, and they shared some stuff with us that's kind of worth passing on. So that's kind of the hope. And then some just other announcements around here, and then we'll take time for Q&A. Like I said, if you would like to be part of the conversation, jump into the chat that's going on right now on YouTube. You can do that by clicking on the YouTube image in the bottom corner of the video if you are watching it on the Group Leaders page. All right, so here we go, Archdiocesan group update. So we are at 1,838 people officially registered on our Group Leader portal, our database. That is darn near to 100% what we're looking for. I got 1 or 2 stragglers out there yet. One of those is from my team, so I'm going to take ownership of that one. But generally speaking, we are doing really great. Just so you know, our last year number at this time was 1,637. So we are a full 200 people above where we were in 2015 in September. So that's a great accomplishment. Thank you for all your recruitment and all your work getting all those people registered. I know that's a lot of work on your end. Most groups have already submitted their forms, if not all of them, at least a significant portion of them. When you send your forms into us, Jim Bessner goes through them and processes them. By that, I mean he looks to make sure every initial is present, signature is present, dates present, all those kind of forms have been filled out completely. As soon as he does that, he will email you with an update telling you what the status of your group is, pretty much letting you know if everything was okay or who needs to get what done next to make it perfect. So that's what Jim will do. So when you send him in, when he gets to them, they will be processed. You will get a confirmation email from him. If there's any stragglers, signatures that need to be done yet that somehow you missed the first time through, he will attach those to you as a PDF file, so you can send those on to the parents to have them print and sign that. It's already a completed form then, and then scan that and mail it back to us so we have that in our records. Everything will be clear once you get that email from Jim. All the stuff you see on the Group Leaders portal will also maybe look a little bit differently after he processes those as well. But we're in the process of it. He's doing a great job plugging away. He's still cleaning up groups. Our task is that by the end of September, like 3 weeks from now, we have to have all of that information perfect, stacked up into a bundle of forms to mail out to the national office, and we have to upload all of your group's data into their records too. And all that stuff is going to take us a couple weeks. So the sooner you can get your forms into us, the better that is. So just appreciate your hustle on that. The Group Leaders portal will give you access to view the information. At this point, I have not turned it off yet just because we have a few people are still coming in. But by this afternoon, I'm hoping to turn off that access, which means you'll be able to see all of the participants in your group. You'll be able to see all their hotel rooming assignments and the bus lists. but you will not be able to edit personal information. The reason for that is because as we're doing uploads to the national office, we want to make sure we upload the accurate information. And if we upload it to the national office and then there's a change that's made, that change might not be known by us, and then you might have the wrong people registered at NCYC. So that's just controlling the data from this point forward. It doesn't mean you can't make changes. You just have to let us know what the changes are, and we'll make them here. So please do go into the Group Leaders portal, look through all of your participant information, make sure all the addresses, phone numbers, names are spelled correctly, all that stuff. If you see anything wrong, let us know, okay? We will be sending out invoices for the September charges coming up here probably early next week. That's a $200 per person charge plus any other transactions that have happened between the July payment and now. So there's a few groups still that have not paid their July payment. We're tracking them down, and we have got some guys in ski masks and baseball bats who are going to go out to their pastors soon. That's a joke. We're not really doing that. Okay, so anyway, September invoices, look for those. Let your bookkeepers know they're coming. It's been pretty smooth so far for most sites. Just be aware that those are going to be coming out really soon. All right, here is our design for the Archdiocesan t-shirt. We decided to stick with the called theme kind of being implicit in here, where Jesus is reaching out to people, and then we have the 3 dots. That's the symbol that we use consistently in our journal and our preparation sessions. Those, I'm not sure what that official term is. If there's an English major who wants to tell me what those 3 dots are called, that would be really impressive and nerdy, but feel free to go ahead. Anyway, that's the image we're going for. It's simple on the front. We just wanted to be kind of eye-catching and kind of just invoke people in. And then on the backside, we're just bragging. On the backside, we're just talking about how we are the biggest NCYC group ever, and everybody needs to know it. And there was a lot of designs that were more obnoxious than this one that we decided not to use, just out of decency. You know, things like if you are here with a picture of Indianapolis, then saying you're probably from here with a picture of the Archdiocese of Dubuque. That would have been my preference if it was up to me. All right, so this is our t-shirt design. We have changed the plan for when we're going to be wearing them. Typically, if this is your first year going to NCYC, we do try to set a date when all of us wear our Archdiocesan shirts the same day. And that's just to show how cool it is to be a part of the Archdiocese of Dubuque. And then when you walk around, 1 out of 10 people at NCYC will be from the Archdiocese of Dubuque wearing these bright green shirts. They are going to be long sleeve, by the way. And somebody asked the question, will 1700 strong be updated? It's a good question. The answer is no. And the reason we're not going to update it is because last year we used 1700 strong and we're actually only 1600. Thanks, Charlene. You're awesome. I love it. Ellipsis. Awesome. Great. Okay, that's the 3 dots in a row. What a nerd. All right. Appreciate it. Anyway, so the 1700 strong is going to be an average. We're averaging 1700 strong over the last 2 years. So, and because we already have that as a handle for Twitter and all that stuff, it just seemed to keep going. So we can let people think we're only at 1700 so they feel better about themselves, like the Davenport people and the Indianapolis people and people from Chicago, you know, those big dioceses that are bringing half what we do. Anyway, just saying. All right, moving on from shirt, again, so the whole point, wear those shirts on Saturday. So when we do the closing liturgy on Saturday night, 1/10 of the people present in Lucas Oil Stadium are going to be wearing these shirts. We used to do them on Friday, but for a lot of different reasons, we're actually switching that. They will actually be green. Yeah, Martin. So they're going to be green. It's like a bright Irish green, long sleeve, okay? So moving on to some of the more logistic stuff, when you get back to the hotels at night, we try to arrange for a snack option for you. The snack options are to do 2 different things. One is we don't know when kids have eaten last. So it's sometimes NCYC schedules are really tight. And so some people might grab a quick bite at 4 o'clock. And so they might be really hungry by 10:30 when they get back to the hotel. And so what we've had in the past was people would order pizzas, and they would order pizza delivery to a hotel room, and sometimes that pizza wouldn't get delivered till 1 in the morning. Sometimes there'd be groups of 20 people in a hotel room that's making quite a bit of noise, and there's normal people, like normal guests of the hotel, not NCYC people, who can't sleep because of the sound. So we try to arrange for that to anticipate the hunger and the reality of kids like to eat. And so we try to have some snack options available in the evening. So for all of our hotels, we are going to have pizza slices available. So if you want to anticipate how many pizza slices your group's going to want, you simply need to either let us know how many you want per night. We'll talk about this a little bit more in detail in just a couple seconds. But the slices have bumped up from $1 to $1.50. Those of you who are staying at the Wyndham, who referenced the cardboard pizza they served us in 2015, please be assured they have a new chef and a new pizza oven, and they have guaranteed us that the pizzas are 4 times better because the complaints about the pizza were consistent. It wasn't just our group. So if you're staying at the Wyndham, there will be a $1.50 pizza slice. Any place you go will be a $1.50. A lot of these are going to be delivery pizzas. So like Domino's or Pizza Hut, delivering into the hotel. So that's the kind of pizza you're going to get. So it'll be a large pizza. So $1.50 will be, one slice of a normal large pizza, just so you get a sense of that. You might think it might be cheaper to order your own pizzas, but we're telling you, please don't do that for a lot of different reasons. We're not allowed to bring in outside food for a lot of our properties. We have to coordinate that with them. And second, we're anticipating doing this, and it's just going to be a lot easier to take that load off your plate. And we will order these that afternoon rather than, when you get back to the property that night. So we ask you to do anticipate, or ask your kids how many slices they're going to want. Some groups just go and get a slice each person. And if somebody doesn't want a slice, they pass that ticket on to somebody else. We're also offering a snack bag option in every site except for the Wyndham. The Wyndham has been really difficult about bringing in outside food. They did come up with some other snack options for us, but the price was just not really doable. It was like $5 for a pretzel with cheese and a drink. It might not even have been a pretzel with cheese. It might have been like chips and cheese and like a lemonade. And so we looked at that and thought, for the price of a $1.50 pizza, you can go to the vending machine and get a soft drink for $2 and still be at $1.50, up $1.50. So we decided to keep it with the Wyndham, just having the pizza slices. But all the other properties, the Crown, the Hyatt, the Courtyard, and the Wingate, we will be having a snack bag option. The snack bag option is going to be 2 individually wrapped items, so either cookies or brownies or bags of chips or some other snack option, and a beverage like a bottle of water or a can of soft drink. So those will be for $1.50. You can get those things. You can mix and match how many you order each night. And you can tell us, again, you can shoot me an email with how much of this you're going to want for your group, or you can just plug it right into the group leader portal yourself. That part of the portal open for you. So all you need to do is let me know how many pizza slices you want for Thursday night, how many snack bags you want for Thursday night. It's pretty simple. So if you got 40 people in your group, maybe you want to do 20 pizza slices and 20 snack bags. You can ask your kids what they want and have them actually order. Sometimes that takes time, so you might just want to guess, and you can guess on the low side if you want to, because there are always vending machines and other things for people to purchase around there. We will be billing you for this, so we do ask you to fill these numbers in by October, and then we will make our orders in place by then. Then we will bill you for these in December. Our hope is to not have any cash transactions on the evenings at the hotels. So we have 5 different hotels. You can imagine we just don't want to deal with collecting cash at 5 different places. So all of these are going to be pre-ordered, and then you will get a specific color ticket. So if you're on Thursday night, pizza slices will be like a red ticket, and you can bring those to the pizza line. Your kids put the ticket in the bucket and they grab a slice of pizza and move on. So you will get all of those tickets when you arrive on Thursday afternoon at NCYC. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. If you do not use a pizza ticket on Friday, can you use it on Saturday? That's a good question, and the answer is probably not, because we are ordering different numbers of pizzas each night. So we're going to try to order just the right amount to meet the need of the tickets. So if you're not going to use it on Thursday, give it to a kid from a different group, or sell it for $3 or whatever you want to do. But those are going to be night and item specific. So you can't buy a pizza ticket and use it for a snack bag. Again, the same thing. We're just trying to keep our inventory low. Everything we buy, we have to store or eat. Okay. And some of us have a problem with eating too much as it is. So that's, I was talking about me, by the way. That wasn't kissing anybody. So that's the plan for that snack option. I know it's a little bit complicated. We are just adding one more option. If you've done this with us before, the pizza slices we've done for the last 2 NCYCs, we're just adding a snack bag option because some people say they get sick of pizza. I can't believe it. Other meal things to consider. On Thursday night, just so you know, we will be ordering, again, the largest Jimmy John's order in the history of Jimmy John's. They will deliver to all 5 of our properties, probably using a moving truck, and they will take boxes of subs and drop them off in front of the appropriate buses at about, I think it's between like 5:30 and 6 o'clock on Thursday night. So Jimmy John subs, we will typically order like a one-third, one-third, one-third of 3 different types of their most popular subs. Not a lot of options, so we're not taking custom orders. The only exception will be dietary need, glucose intolerant or veggie or something like that. If it's a specific dietary need, we will accommodate that for the Jimmy John subs. Otherwise, just trade with the person next to you if you don't like turkey. So the plan is that on Thursday night, then when you get to your bus, when your group is loading up the bus, they will be able to pick up a box with their Jimmy John sub and a bottle of water and go to their seat on the bus and eat that on the way downtown to the general session. It's the easiest meal you will get at NCYC. So we do the Thursday night just because it's too congested as far as time goes, and so it makes things a lot easier for you. That's all included in the price of your rate with the Archdiocese. We've also negotiated that each hotel will provide a grab-and-go breakfast each morning. The grab-and-go typically consists of like a muffin, a fruit, and then a fruit juice of some kind. So like just think about like that. So it's going to be, again, some of these will be individually bagged. Others will be you grab the bag, you go through, you fill it up, and you go. The idea is you can come down and grab these on your way to the bus. There is one exception, and the Wingate property does have a little bit more of an extended breakfast option. And in that place, we will be assigning different floors, different shifts, or different buses, different shifts. So if you're in bus, 24, you'll probably go down to grab your breakfast at 6:30, bus 25 at 6:45, etc. And so again, you can go eat and then get on your bus and head out your way, but that'll all be communicated to people staying at the Wingate. Otherwise, it's a grab and go bag breakfast. If you know of any dietary needs from your groups, please let us know. We do have all of the youth medical forms that have come in, the Arch Youth forms, do say on there if there's any dietary needs. The adult forms, however, do not ask the question about dietary needs. So if you know of any adults in your groups that have any kind of dietary issue, please communicate that to me or to Jim Betzner ASAP so we can put those lists together. We will not know about any dietary needs in your group unless you tell us. So please consult with your adults and see if there's any concerns they have. That's an issue for people. They want to make sure they can eat, especially if we're ordering free food. Okay. A couple different options that are new this year is you can actually get prepaid lunch boxes at the convention center. These are, I think, $10 a piece, and how it works is you'll pre-order them. I'm under the impression that when we pick up the credentials and materials on Wednesday afternoon, they will give us tickets for the groups that have ordered meals. And then you would just take those tickets to a spot in the Indianapolis Convention Center and trade in the ticket for a boxed lunch. It will be a cold boxed lunch, and you can do that. It's an option for you. Additionally, you can get prepaid meal cards that work like credit cards or debit cards. More appropriately, that you can get a balance put on those meal cards and then swipe them at any of the convention center food joints, and it'll be deducted from your balance. For either of those two options, if you're curious about exploring that, the website's up at the NCYC website. You have to go to the leaders only page and then click on concessions, or just type in the link you see there is a way to get to those options. I don't want to make any promises that I can't make. I mean, I'm not sure about the prepaid meals thing. If the assumption is that that's the whole archdiocese has to do that, or if different groups within our delegation can do that, I'm not sure. So if you want to explore that, just make sure you keep me posted. Let me know what the deal is with that. Okay. At this point, substitutions are getting a little bit more tricky. From now on, like I said, I'm shutting off access to your portal, so you're not going to be able to delete a record and add a new record. You need to go through us to make those changes. That's just so we know that we're updating them in all of our lists everywhere. There's no cost for that. I mean, so if you've got a male chaperone who's dropping and you're replacing him with another male chaperone, that's just give us the information, we'll plug it in. It's usually pretty simple. So there's no charge for that until after the end of September. After that, it's a $25 substitution fee. And you can do substitutions right up until the week before NCYC. So I don't want you feeling that you have to say no to people, especially if you know that somebody's dropping out. That being said, I do want you to make sure you're talking to me about any changes as soon as you think it's even remotely possible. The big issue with there is making sure we have space on buses and hotel rooms and all that stuff. Our hotel rooms, I think, are going to be kind of densely packed this year, which is a great problem. So it's going to be harder to guarantee that we can find a spot for that person to stay if they're not just taking the same bus seat in the same hotel room as the person they're replacing. So if they're not gender and age consistent, so male adult to male adult or female youth to female youth, if they're not the same, please let me know, and then I'll let you know if that's possible. That's kind of how this will have to work. I'm in the middle of developing rooming lists. I do have a plan as far as which groups are staying at which hotels. So we're staying at 5 hotels this year. 3 of these are the same that we used in the past. We were at the Hyatt, the Crown, and the Wyndham in 2015. The Wingate and Courtyard are new properties for us, but they're good properties. Jim and I have both been out there and seen them, and we worked with their hotel staff, and they're good places. The group leaders portal tells you which hotel you're assigned to. So you're welcome to go check that out. I know people like to read reviews and see if their hotel's horrible, and none of these hotels are horrible. I promise. There was one that was almost horrible that we decided not to use. If you have any special requests from your hotel, refrigerator, I don't know what else people might. The refrigerator is a common one. Microwave might be a necessity. If you have any special requests, what floor you're on or anything like that, handicapped room, please do not call the hotel directly. They are only going to be able to approve anything for our group through me. So if you have a special request, let me know. Jim and I work pretty hard to accommodate those kind of things. So if you have any hotel requests, let me know, please. If you're going, yeah, so just let's leave it there. Okay. So when you log in your group leader portal, if you want to go see the group leader, the rooming assignments, I've taken 98% of the time, it's exactly how you grouped your young people and adults. I put them into the same groupings. There's been a few times where I've had to make a few changes, like I'll put 2 boys from one group with 2 boys from another group, just to fill up a room, for example. And you might not be aware of that. When you log into the group leader portal and you click on room lists, if your group has been processed, you should be able to go in and see your rooming list. It'll look like this. The color of the room, here you see a pink one, indicates the age and the gender. So pink is teen girls, red is adult women, dark blue is adult men, and light blue is so if they're married, it's purple. Okay, so that's how I put people into their rooms, so you can kind of make sure that those are there. Please note over here where it says the room code, that's the part that's pink. That does not mean the actual room number. It does not mean that this is on the first floor, for example, these 2 rooms you can see. It's just the code we use for the grouping. At the end of this month, I'll send it off to the hotels. They will actually start the process of assigning them to real room numbers. And those room numbers we might get Tuesday before NCYC. We will update that, and when you get to NCYC on Thursday, I will be able to give each group leader a list that actually has the real room numbers for all of their young people, and that will change throughout the course of the weekend. Some people, not for everybody, for sure, but there will be 3 or 4 different room changes that happen just because of the realities of the messiness of humanity. So you should be able to see that. If your kids are sharing a room with a different group, it's possible that you will not be able to see it. When you view this in the group leader portal, it only shows you the rooms that have people who are in this first record here. So on this one, you see this young woman from group 216. If she were sharing a room with somebody from 217, group 216 could see that list with the other young person in it, but whoever's the group leader for 217 would not be able to, because it's only going to show you if your young people are in that first record. Now that's just a difficulty with the software. Nothing I can do about it. I've spent some time trying to figure that out. So if when you're looking through and you see that one of your young people is not in a room, that's an immediate reason to contact me right away, just to make sure I didn't make a mistake. But it's possible that they're in a room, you just can't see it. So if you have, please do, once you get your rooming assignments and you can click and view that in the group leader portal, do go through and make sure all of your young people are actually assigned you a room. I double check that a few times, but I'm just always afraid that we might miss somebody. Okay. Buses. If you are on more than one bus, if you're one of those groups that have 84 people or 165 people, Annie's Eats, let me know which people are on which bus. So Annie's already done that, and a couple other people have already done that. But if the bigger groups that are on more than one bus, I just need to know which kid to assign or which adult to assign to which bus. Pretty simple. A lot more information yet to come on this. People are asking about pickup sites and times, and bus boss assignments. Those are common questions. What I'm going to do really soon is once all the buses are finalized, I'm going to pick a departure site. It's generally wherever the largest group is on that bus. Sometimes there will be two pickup sites. A few of our buses have pickups that are about an hour and a half apart. So I'm going to have them pick up at one site and then go to the other site. Once I have those locations done, I send that to the bus company. They tell me the times that the bus is going to load and the time that the bus is going to depart. I will communicate all of that stuff to you by the group, the chaperone training meetings coming up next month. So that's the hope, is to have all of that stuff available to you in 3 weeks. So here's what we use to determine a lot of the busing things. Bus pickup sites are always going to be within 45 minutes of wherever the home base for your group is. So I don't want anybody to have to drive more than an hour and a half to drop off and get back in the morning before NCYC. So I try to keep it within 45 minutes of drive time. Usually they're within about 30 minutes or 15 minutes. But if your group has to drive a little bit to get on the bus, it shouldn't be too much more than 45 minutes. So I apologize if that's the reality of it, but please understand this bus list is delicate. Do as few pickup spots as possible. Each pickup tends to take about 15 to 30 minutes. And so we just to get you there quicker and let you sleep in a little bit later, we try to do as few stops as possible. And I usually use the formula of who's the largest group with the most experience gets the bus boss. So I usually will ask a person to be bus boss from the largest group. If you've got recommendations for that, I would be happy to entertain them. If you are unwilling to be a bus boss, please let me know. Bus bosses simply just make sure there's a head count done every time the bus stops and takes off again. So every morning, every night, just doing a head count, some activities for the bus ride out, collecting the evaluations on the bus ride back, etc. Okay. Is our bus map. So just to give you a quick glimpse into the complications of things, the blue boxes are the actual bus numbers. The green boxes are our groups. Actually, the green boxes are just one. Those are the people staying at the Wyndham. Red groups are staying at the Crown, purple Hyatt, orange Wingate, yellow Courtyard, and you can see the correlations there to the buses. You don't have to actually memorize this at all. It's really not important for you to see everything. I just want you to see that this is kind of a fun puzzle we had to put together. So this is our bus plan. There you go. A few things about program updates from NCYC. There is going to be this year a music and message stage. This is going to be in addition to any workshops and general sessions. Up and coming musicians who otherwise don't have their own workshop or don't have a lot of stage time are given a place to perform. It might be thematic park, I'm not sure. Chance to go check out young new talent if you're thinking about bringing people in to entertain your group or for conferences, or if there's going to be another archdiocese and youth rally, this would be a place to go check out and see if there's somebody that's really got a lot of potential that we might want to bring in. There's an inspiration nook. This is a place for young people to go and pray. So there's religious orders from across the country are going to be staffing that to be there and pray with their young people. Like quadrupled the number of daily mass options available during NCYC due to the high demand. So if you are interested in daily mass on Friday, there's I think 4 or 5 different daily mass options. If you want to try to make that a priority for your group, that's your decision. None of this is required. None of NCYC's stuff, except for the general sessions, is really highly required for you. But if this is something your group wants to spend some time doing and praying at the mass as a group, it's a great idea. Also, due to the fact that there is no longer a National Catholic Collegiate Conference, the NCCC, that used to exist in tandem with NCYC, there are some young adult track workshops available. These are targeting college age and slightly older. So if that's you, or if you've got people from your group who are there, encourage them to take part in the young adult tracks that are being offered at NCYC. stuff that they shared with us at the national level. There will be an app that you can use to schedule what you want to do. If you were at the National Conference on Catholic Youth Ministry in San Jose in December, the same company that designed that app designed one for NCYC. So if each of your young people, for example, wanted to look through all of the workshop options at every timeline and say, this is the one that's important to you, they can actually put it into their schedule, and then the app will send them a notification reminding them of where they wanted to go. So each person can have their own planned schedule for how to take advantage of NCYC. I would remind you to make sure you plug in time for some of those extracurricular pieces, those things that aren't just workshops, but spending time in the thematic park, spending time in prayer, meals, and I'm not sure that the app will let you plan time to eat. Young people being young people are golden retrievers chasing tennis balls. They will just keep going until they die. So make sure you schedule or help young people schedule their days appropriately. But the app's certainly a good way to help you do that. This was kind of like a bonehead kind of recommendation, but holy cow, if somebody did not bring a cell phone charger, that would be kind of an interesting problem. So you might want to make sure you include on your packing list to bring their cell phone chargers. Texting is always going to be the best way to communicate with your young people. Phone calls tend not to go through because the lines are just so busy. Texting might take a while to go through, but texting is going to be the best way to communicate with your young people. And if somebody's phone dies, that's a problem. And we don't want young people plugging in at the convention center because there's limited outlet space and it congests the hallways. So please encourage them in their hotel rooms each night to charge their phones and bring chargers so they can charge their phones from their rooms. Okay, just add that to your packing list. Very important to bring good walking shoes. Tennies, something supportive, hiking boots. You will be on your feet a lot. Encourage good walking shoes. Fashion is meaningless. NCYC, everybody looks goofy. Just wear decent walking shoes. Also, very good idea to make sure everybody brings a water bottle. So a reusable, refillable water bottle. There are water bottle filling stations in the convention center. We don't know about the Lucas Oil Stadium, but you can bring a water bottle everywhere you go. They will not be searching your backpacks for water bottles. They're not worried about that, especially if they're refillable. Okay. So do drink lots of water. Do wear good shoes, do get lots of sleep, and do pace yourself. People get sick and dehydrated all the time at these conferences, and the best thing we can do is pace ourselves and drink more water. One of the other ideas is as soon as you get to Lucas Oil on Thursday night, you might want to find a place, a sign, a vendor, an escalator, or something that's unique and identifiable, and say to your group, if we ever get lost or separated, this is going to be where we meet. When you go into Lucas Oil, sometimes there will be enough seats for your group to sit together, sometimes there will not. I highly recommend that you break your group into groups of 6 to 8 or 10 people so that they can travel together, because you're much more likely to find seats for 6 to 10 people than you are for 165. Okay, so try to break your group into manageable numbers. But at the end of the night, if you want to meet as a large group and then walk together to your bus, you need to pick a meeting spot to do that at Lucas Oil Stadium. Okay. Also, really important, if you can, to encourage your parents and your entire parish to view the live streaming sessions. All of the general sessions on Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night, Saturday morning, and closing mass on Saturday night will be live streamed to an international audience. As much as you can encourage your parents and the rest of your parish to view and pray and support your young people through that process would be beneficial. A few things about youth participation. A lot of people are still asking about the Youth Animator Program. This used to be a way for young people to get involved and be present up on stage. The Youth Animator Program, as we know it, has been discontinued. They're trying to solve that and meet those needs in different, more inclusive ways. So just trust that that's a good thing that the national office is doing. And it's not the best ideal for some of our young stars, but there are a couple other options. NCYC's Top Talent is an NCYC talent show, and young people can get more information by going to NCYC's toptalent.org. They would record an audition tape, and judges will review those and notify people by sometime coming up, and then there will be actually performance competitions at NCYC where judges will determine who is NCYC's top talent. So if you've got people who are musically inclined, who think they have a future in performance, this would be a way to invite them to share those skills and talents and inspirations with other young people at NCYC. Another way to help out is the Youth Ambassador Program. This is the opportunity for young people to be active in leadership and introducing workshop presenters and being hospitable in all of the breakout sessions. There is an application process for a Youth Ambassador team, and it's due really soon. So if you think you've got young people who are interested in doing that, there are some logistical hurdles to go through. For example, it costs $10, but that covers the price of the cool t-shirt. And so, I mean, I know that one of the things about youth ministry is you never get enough t-shirts. So this might be an opportunity. If you've got kids who are strong leaders who you think would be great in hospitality, the national office is looking for people to help with this kind of youth empowerment. Both of these things, and specifically the Youth Ambassador Program, you can find more information at the national website, ncyc.info/youth participation. If you go there for more information about the Youth Ambassador Program. If you're going to do the Youth Ambassador Program, please, please, please let me know ASAP. So if you think young people might be into that, we need to know that pretty soon. There is some logistic stuff about getting you down a little bit early on Friday morning, and we can do our best to arrange for that, but we're going to need to know that ahead of time. So let us know. A few other announcements just to keep in the loop. Teens Encounter Christ retreats are starting up again. This is for your high school seniors. We are hoping to send an invite out to every senior who's registered for NCYC. Please encourage all of your 12th graders in your programs to consider making a Teens Encounter Christ retreat this year. There are 5 of them. The first one's coming up at the end of October. There's another one in November, the week before NCYC. Those would be great ways to start their fall, and to have NCYC as a follow-up to either one of those experiences would be awesome for our high school kids. So these are for high school 12th graders, Teens Encounter Christ retreat. We are entering our 50th year of doing Teens Encounter Christ retreats in the Archdiocese of Dubuque. So it's definitely has some strong potential. That the fact that it's still going strong after 50 years says something about the merits of that program. Also, middle school youth rally coming up, Youth Jam, November 4th. If you have grades 6 to 8 is something you can work on. You can get more information at dbqarch.org/youthjam. All you have to do is let us know the number of adults and young people going. We'll bill your parish after the fact. Each parish is responsible to collect their own forms and make sure all of their adults are compliant to their standards. And then pull your kids together and bring a group to Youth Jams featuring DJ Bill Lage, who will be at NCYC November. Okay, so that's Youth Jam, grades 6 to 8 and their parents. And also, Totus Tuus registration is now open for the summer of 2018. You're hearing it here first. So if your parish hosts Totus Tuus and would like to start the process of requesting a week for next summer, you can go to dbqarch.org/Totus Tuus. Be sure you spell it with 2 U's at the end. So Totus Tuus registrations for parishes to host a team next summer is now available. A few other things going on across the Archdiocese. Mary Peterson and Joanne Poland are teaming up with the Archdiocesan Council of Catholic Women to host listening sessions throughout the Archdiocese called Beauty Alive. This is an opportunity for Catholic women to get together and talk about ways they can support each other, grow in their faith, and develop into missionary disciples. So if you have not seen those dates yet, do a quick search on our website for Beauty Alive. It'll give you the listing of all the locations and times where those listening sessions will be taking place. Please encourage women from your parish to do that. One comment on the Youth Ambassador Program, yes, 4 young people and 1 adult. That's the Youth Ambassador team. Thanks, Patty, for pointing that out. So if you're going to do Youth Ambassadors, there needs to be an adult assigned to them as well. But so please be aware of that. Thank you, Patty. Next announcement, Strong Catholic Marriage Program coming up in October. There's going to be a marriage conference. If this is something, I would encourage you to push out to all of the married couples in your parish, however you can do that, just to make sure families know, married couples know that there's a place to go and be reinvigorated in the importance of their marriage. So that's one of the healthiest things we can do to build a strong church, is to support strong Catholic marriages. So please, more information about that, you can talk to Matt Selby in the Family Life Office, or again, go to the website and search Strong Catholic Marriage. And in addition to that, coming up in, I think, January is the Beauty in Christ Archdiocese Women's Conference, which Beauty Alive is leading to and culminating into this celebration of faith for Catholic women in the Archdiocese. That's coming up in January. And connected to that is our own NCYC Chaperone Appreciation Dinner, which is set for Sunday, January 28th. We will be sending out like save the dates or invitations at NCYC to all of the adults who are present. This is a way for us to celebrate the real reality that NCYC could not happen with 455 adults who've said yes to go, sometimes taking days of vacation, sometimes paying their whole way. But all of the adults that go to make NCYC as good as it is, we just want to make sure we're appreciating them. So it's a night to get together. It's a free meal. There's a cake. I mean, if you need any other reason, there's a cake. And Emily Wilson, who will be one of the keynotes at the Women's Conference, will also be our keynote for that night, just share some inspiration with us and talk about her experience at NCYC. So you will see her at NCYC. She's going to be one of the MCs with Father Joe Espiat. So that's going to be kind of an exciting night. If you've been there in the past, we usually get about half of our chaperones to show up. There's usually a blizzard, so plan accordingly. But we moved it from a Tuesday night to a Sunday night because we thought that this might be more accessible to people. So that's the plan. At this point, I will entertain any questions, knowing that this went already 40 minutes. Apologize for the duration of my long-windedness. So if you have any questions or comments about NCYC, anything I didn't talk about, please type them into the chat box. If you've joined us via the Group Leaders portal or the Group Leaders website, and you're watching there, to access the chat, you need to click on the YouTube icon or logo in the bottom corner of that video, and then I'll take you to the YouTube page where you can type in the chat there. So at this point, if you have any questions or comments or anything I missed that you'd like to have addressed, go ahead and type those in now. I'll wait a few seconds while those come in. And pausing. Okay, very good. Just really excited about how everything's coming together. If you've had any problems with the portal, let me know about those immediately so I can get you access to that. I know some people have been struggling with getting access to that, but it seems to be working out pretty well for most people. That's a great question, Annie. I love it. If I have a bullhorn for my group of 165, will I have issues getting through security? Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not even sure I want to ask that question up the national office. But I can. I'll pass that up to Maureen Gross, who's in charge of the conference. Yeah, Beauty in Christ. Emily Wilson will be at the Beauty in Christ conference as well as the Chaperone Appreciation Dinner. And Emily Wilson will also be doing an event in Dubuque, and I think it's the Wednesday night after that for all of the parishes here as part of the Dubuque Area Vocation Awareness Group is sponsoring a Vocations Awareness Night. And so she'll be present at that experience too. So if you're in the Dubuque area running an RE program, Emily Wilson's going to be, she's going to be in Iowa for quite a while, like a maybe almost a full week. So we have that all booked and we're excited about that. Any other questions or comments? Please keep them coming through the chat. Otherwise, you can shoot me an email at any time by all means. I just want to say how grateful I am for all your work. I know it's been messy. I know that a lot of you have been struggling to get one or two people to get their forms filled out or get some initials and following up with all that. I really appreciate the work you're doing to make this happen. There's just no way most dioceses could do a group of this size because we are so dependent on the awesomeness and the work and the perseverance you all put into recruiting and supporting your young people as they grow into disciples of Jesus. And so on behalf of Archbishop and everyone here, I just want you to know that we're proud of you, and I brag about you guys all the time. So thanks for all you're doing for NCYC to make it a huge success. And question mark. I'm not sure what that means, Michelle, but that's awesome. Anyway, I will say good riddance. Have a good day. Any questions, email me. Thanks for your perseverance and lasting 45 minutes in this exhausting presentation. You're all awesome, and thanks for all you do.